We'll start with the making of sugar syrup. So for that, in a pan take 400 gram sugar, 2 cups of water, so we need to make a sugar syrup which is not even single string, less than that, because if it's too hard then the gulab jamuns will be stiff. Once the syrup starts to boil, add cardamom powder. Now let's check if our sugar syrup or chashni is done. So take a small portion out in a plate and let it cool. Then you need to press it between your thumb and index finger, and then press your index and thumb and pull them apart. So this chashni or sugar syrup is not even forming a string, that means it's perfect. Now to prevent the crystallization of sugar syrup, we are adding juice from half lemon. Don't worry, it's not going to alter the taste of the syrup. Now switch off the flame and keep the sugar syrup aside. So here I've taken 250 gram of mawa or khoya. It's fresh, it's very nice, but we need to knead it for some time till it becomes very smooth. After kneading it for some time, add 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour or maida, 1 teaspoon fine suji or rava. Now mix till everything is well combined. So now to this add 1/4 teaspoon baking powder and knead it well. Now I'm going to cover and keep it aside for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's fine if you keep it just for 5 minutes. After that again knead it, but I'm going to add a very little bit of milk to it, so it's like 1 teaspoon milk, and knead it till it's smooth. So try to make a ball out of it. If it comes out smooth, that means the dough is ready. Now before we make the balls out of the gulab jamun dough, heat some ghee. So here I've taken clarified butter or ghee. You can also use oil, but I personally like frying the gulab jamuns in ghee. Now take a small portion of the gulab jamun dough, and I'm going to stuff these with the gulab jamuns with pistachios and almonds, but this is completely optional. Now when making gulab jamuns, it's very important that the balls which you make do not have cracks on them, because if they have cracks on them, then while frying the gulab jamun might open and burst in the oil or ghee. Now I've made a few gulab jamuns, and keeping the flame between low to medium, I'm going to fry these. The flame should not be high, otherwise the gulab jamuns will turn nice golden or brown from the outside but will be raw inside. So keep the flame between low to medium, almost near low, and fry these. Keep turning these with a spoon so that these are evenly browned on all the sides. I like to fry the gulab jamuns to this color, but if you prefer having a lighter shade, you can fry these less. But trust me, this tastes awesome. Now right away drop the gulab jamuns into warm syrup, and you need to similarly fry all the gulab jamuns and drop them into the warm syrup. So I've fried all the gulab jamuns, and you can see these are completely submerged in the sugar syrup. So you need to let the gulab jamun soak the syrup completely, and then you can devour on these delicious, amazing khoya gulab jamuns. Now this part is optional. I'm decorating the gulab jamuns with some edible silver or silver barak. Now look how nicely this gulab jamun has absorbed all the syrup, and the pistachios, almonds inside taste awesome. Try this recipe and enjoy! So first thing first, we are going to grease a mold with some ghee or butter. I'm taking a mold, cake mold here, but if you want you can take a regular plate if you do not have a mold like this. Now in a kadhai add 2 tablespoons clarified butter or ghee. Keep the flame medium and add half cup semolina or rava or suji. So I'm using the fine suji. So keeping the flame medium and continuously stirring this, we need to roast the suji till the raw smell is gone and the color slightly changes. And after that, take the suji out in a bowl. Now in the same kadhai add 1/4 cup clarified butter or ghee. Now add 1 cup besan or gram flour. As soon as you add besan to the ghee, you will see that it's quite dry, but as you keep on roasting the besan, you will see that the besan and the ghee mixture starts to loosen up. So keeping the flame medium or between low to medium, you need to roast the besan till the color of besan becomes a little dark and you get a very nice smell out of it. You can see how the consistency of the besan and the color is also changing. So this is the perfect color which we are looking for. After the besan is roasted, add it immediately to the suji. So we'll keep this aside for some time. Now in another bowl, heat 1 cup sugar and half cup water. We are going to make a sugar syrup of single string consistency. Because we are making this in small amounts, small batch, keep an eye on the sugar syrup because it tends to change its state very quickly. So I'm going to check if it's done, and it is done. I can see a single string. You can see right away pour this sugar syrup into the mixture. Otherwise, if you keep it in the bowl for longer time, it will keep cooking and it will harden more. I mean, the burfis or the chakki will be more hard or stiff. So add it right away to the suji and besan, mix it well. If you want, you can add cardamom powder to this. Now immediately pour it into the mold and garnish it with some sliced pistachios or pista or badam, whatever you like. Let it set, but before it completely sets, it sets a little bit, then we are going to cut this, because if it's set completely, then it will be difficult for you to cut this into pieces. The mold is quite hot, so I'm using a cloth to hold it. And after making all the cuts, let this cool completely. So after the burfi is cool, just before demolding, run it a little bit on the flame so that the base of the burfi loosens a bit and it will be easier for you to take out the burfi. The first burfi, the cornermost burfi, might break. That's okay. So here I have demolded all the burfis. Now this step is optional. I am decorating the burfis with some edible silver or silver varak, whatever you call it. So our delicious homemade besan chakki or besan burfis are ready. Enjoy! Now we are going to grind the cashews into fine powder. So take half of 1.5 cup of cashew nuts in your mixer grinder jar. We are not going to grind all the cashews together because in order to finely powder all the cashews, you might end up over grinding these cashews and these might ooze some oil, and that's not going to give us good kaju katli. So take a little amount of kaju at a time and make powder like this. If you still see some small pieces of cashew nut in this powder, you can sift this using your sieve or chalni. Similarly, grind rest of the cashews. You need to remember that you run your mixer only till you get the powder. If you overdo it, the cashews will form lump and will leave oil, and we don't want that. Now to this powder, add half cup milk powder. Give this a mix. Now take 1 cup plus 2 tablespoon icing sugar or regular finely powdered sugar. Using a sieve or chalni, sift this well, like this. Give this a good mix. Now add 3 to 4 drops of rose essence to get the wonderful halwai-like flavor from this kaju katli. Now we are going to add water. You can also use milk. So you'll need around 6 to 7 teaspoons of water or milk, but make sure you do not add all at a time. Add a little at a time and make a dough like this. So you need to knead this just till this forms a dough like this, because if you over knead it, this cashew paste will leave oil. Now we're going to roll this. For that, take butter paper or thick plastic sheet. take some sticky tape so that you have this thing secured in a place and this doesn't slide while you roll the dough. Now apply some ghee onto this paper. Take another sheet of butter paper or plastic sheet and press it like this, and this way we have greased both the sheets. Now place the cashew dough on this. Press this dough with your hands and then use your rolling pin to roll it. Make sure you smooth out the edges. Just flat it with your hands, place the butter paper and again roll it with the rolling pin. You can use rolling pin from the beginning as well. So you can see I have rolled this cashew paste into a thin sheet. Now this part is optional. Now I'm going to apply some edible silver foil or work for garnishing. This edible silver is very delicate and has to be applied very gently. Now take a thin and sharp knife and cut this Kaju Katli horizontally like this. And now make equidistant diagonal cuts. Our delicious and quick Kaju Katli is now ready. Let me show you one piece. Oops. Look at this. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Heat a pan and to that add 1 cup gram flour or besan. We need to dry roast this besan on low to medium flame till the raw smell of this besan goes off and it becomes light brown in color. The reason why we are dry roasting this 1 cup of besan separately and 3 cups separately in ghee is that this dry roasted besan will help us bind the laddus better. So make sure you keep mixing the besan while you're roasting it so that it doesn't burn. This will take some time. You can see the besan has changed its color and I can get a very nice smell out of it, and you can see a few lumps, but don't worry, we are going to sift this. So take this out on a plate and let it come to room temperature. Meanwhile, in the same pan, add 1 cup clarified butter or ghee. Once the ghee melts, add 3 cups gram flour or besan. Mix this well and roast this on low to medium, I would say medium flame, till you get little darker brown color of this besan, and you will get a very beautiful smell out of this too. You need to continuously stir this so that the besan doesn't burn. This also takes some time. So here you can see the color of the besan has changed. It has become little darker brown. To this now add 1/4 cup of sliced mixed dry fruits. Give that a mix and again roast for some time, 2 to 3 minutes, and take this besan mixture out in a bowl and let it come to room temperature. So this is our besan mixture after it has been cooled down. It has become a little thick. Now take a sieve and we are going to sift our dry roasted besan with this. This dry roasted besan has also come to room temperature. Sift this well. Now give this a good mix. That's it. Now to this we are going to add our powdered sugar. So here I've taken 2.5 cup of powdered sugar. So this is the measure of 2.5 cup of powdered sugar, not before you grind the sugar to make powder out of it. So 2.5 cup of powdered sugar. Now use your hands to mix this until everything is well combined. This will take some time and strength as well. So this is the laddu mixture. It's ready. Now we are going to make laddus out of it. So if you can see, it has become soft enough so that we can make laddus out of it. So take a small portion in your hand and give this a shape of laddu. Roll it between your palms like this. So our shiny besan laddu is now ready. Similarly, make laddus out of this mixture. So here I've made laddus from half of the mixture, and from the remaining half I'll make the laddus in some time. So our laddus are now ready. You can garnish these with some chopped or sliced dry fruits.
So here I have some cashew nuts, almonds and pistachios sliced. So the laddus are now ready.